What's up guys, it's Kristen here today with a book haul unboxing. I know I said I was never going to be able to do one of these unboxing videos again, but somehow I managed to accumulate all of these books over the past month or so and not open them. I have no idea how I did it, and these are effing heavy, so I'm gonna put them down. I've just developed like superhuman powers of restraint, and anytime one of the packages came in the mail, I immediately just shoved it in the back of my closet so it was out of sight, out of mind, and I would not be tempted to open it. A couple of these books are ones that I've been sent by publishers, but most of them I bought myself, so I know exactly what's in them. I don't know which one to open first. This feels like Christmas morning. I think I'm gonna go with the one that I believe is from Rock Paper Books. If you haven't checked out their website, you should. They do all of these editions of classic books, but with really cool cover illustrations. It's a bad idea to use scissors, by the way. There we go. Alrighty. I'm so excited. A lot of paper. Just as beautiful as I thought it would be. I ordered two books from Rock Paper Books, the first of which is Flatland by Edwin Abbot, and I had actually never heard of this book, even though apparently it is a classic. It was written in the late 1800s. The premise sounds really bizarre, that it's kind of a science fiction math-based story where they live in a two-dimensional world, and I was really drawn in just by that concept and this beautiful cover. Then the other book that I got was Othello, of course, by Shakespeare, and this cover, I can't even. They have a whole Shakespeare collection. I think they have 6 covers at the moment. I've not actually read Othello, even though this is actually my sister's favorite Shakespeare, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared. I've never really read Shakespeare outside of school before, and not having that help in interpreting the text makes me a little bit nervous, but I really do want to try and delve in and read more of his works. I wasn't sent those by Rock Paper Books, by the way, or sponsored in any way. I just really love their cover designs, and I would probably order more of their books if they didn't have such high international shipping rates. But if you live in the US, it's probably pretty reasonable. Now I think I will open a book that I was sent, and this one is from Granta Publishing, so I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Let's see. Yes! Okay, so this is the Tidal Zone by Sarah Moss, and it's just starting to make the rounds on BookTube, but I heard about it because one of my good friends here on BookTube, Lauren and the Books, whom I absolutely love, named this her favorite book of 2016, and that was all that I needed to hear before I knew that I just had to read it. From what I know about the plotline though, it is about a family and their young daughter has an episode where she stops breathing and then she has to go into the hospital, and the story is told though from the father's point of view, and that premise alone doesn't really sound that intriguing, but I've heard that the writing is just absolutely gorgeous and a really interesting look into the way that we deal with grief, so I cannot wait to get to this one, and thank you again, Granta Publishing, for sending this to me. Now I think I'm just gonna go for it and open the massive book outlet order that I placed. I think this was one of the first packages that came, so I've been waiting the longest for this one. Let's see. Okay, there's the order and the paper, and I can see the first massive book sitting on top. First book that I got, I can barely even hold it up straight, The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. This is like the floppiest huge paperback that I've ever seen, but that will really be great reading a huge chunker like this, which I will be reading next month in October as a part of a read-along with a bunch of different booktubers organized by Berg. And I honestly know very little about this story. I think it's set in Australia or New Zealand and the 1800s, and I know it won the Man Booker in 2013, and for some reason I find this to be one of the most intimidating books. I don't know why. If you watch my channel, you know I'm not intimidated by massive books usually, but for some reason I am with this one, which is why I really wanted to jump on the buddy read bandwagon. And the next book that I got from that book outlet order, because yeah, there was 2 this month, is Radiance by Catherynne M. Valente. I'm currently making my way through her Fairyland series, which are obviously middle grade, and I'm absolutely in love with the writing and the world, so of course I want to check out more of Valente's work. I wish I could tell you what Radiance is about, but from what everybody tells me and reading this description here that says it's a deco-punk pulp science fiction, alternate history, space opera mystery set in a Hollywood and a solar system. So your guess is as good as mine, but it still sounds amazing nonetheless. Then I got the short story collection by Ramona Ausubel called A Guide to Being Born, and I have just heard nothing but praise, and I am ashamed to admit that the only short story collection I've ever read are J.D. Salinger's short stories, and they happen to be like my favorite literary works of all time. So I have absolutely no idea why I have never picked up another short story collection, and I thought this would be a good place to start. The last book from this order is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. This is one of those books that I've been meaning to read since I was probably about 15 or 16, and I always think I'll get to it, and it's one that I would normally just get from the library. But when I saw it on Book Outlet on sale, I thought this is finally going to push me to pick this up and actually read it. But I honestly know almost nothing about the actual plotline of this book other than that it follows a young girl growing up in Brooklyn and it's kind of sad and depressing. But I love classics, so I'm sure I'm just going to fall in love with this one. Now for the weirdest package that I got in the mail. I don't know why they couldn't just wrap this up in a normal packaging, but it is from Hatchet Books, so I'm pretty sure that I know what book it is, but with this packaging, who knows? I didn't even open it? Jeez. Why is this not opening? Oh, it's still not. Oh, there. Got it. We broke through. This out. I think I know what. Yeah. I can't get this out. Alright, this is You'll Grow Out of It, Jessi Klein's memoir, and immediately, even just when I saw this cover, it made me laugh. Who hasn't heard that phrase many, many times growing up? And I am just in a huge memoir mood at the moment after reading The Glass Castle, and I fell in love with it. But I realized that all of the memoirs that I've read this year, like Night by Elie Wiesel and In Order to Live, have been very dark and depressing, and I need a little bit of lighter fare in my life with this one, so thank you very much, Hatchet Books, for sending this my way. And last but not least, I have one more order from Book Outlet, obviously a lot smaller, but it was late at night, and there were some great deals, and I just couldn't help myself. I don't know why I have so many issues, I swear. When I'm not on camera, I can open something in 2 seconds. There we go. Okay. And the first book is The Master by Colm Toibin. Oh god, I'm butchering that name every single time. This is one of Marie Berg's favorite books, and she is one of my favorite people here on BookTube. So again, I just took her recommendation at face value. I honestly know very little about the book. But just to give you the basic premise, it says here on the back that it is about a story of a man born into one of America's first intellectual families who leaves his country in the late 19th century to live in Paris, Rome, Venice, and London among privileged artists and writers. And that just sounds friggin' awesome. And I haven't read any other of Toibin's works. Obviously, he is most known for Brooklyn as of late, and I've heard nothing but praise. Again, I trust Marie Berg implicitly with her recommendations. And the last book of this haul, you know I said before that I've been in a serious memoir mood. Well, when I saw this book for $1.50 on Book Outlet, I just had to snatch it up right away, and it is Chanel Bonfire by Wendy, Lawless, and Max from WellDoneBooks recommended it after I said how much I loved The Glass Castle, and it kind of sounds similar because it sounds like it has a lot of similar themes of a young girl growing up in a very unique, dysfunctional household. This is set in New York in the 1960s. First of all, I think this is just an awesome title, but it is just ticking all of my boxes. I don't know why I am drawn to these dysfunctional family memoir type things, maybe because I had a quite boring childhood that I can glamorize it in my mind, but it sounds friggin' awesome and I cannot wait to get to it. So here are all of the books that I have acquired in the past couple months, and I am just so ridiculously excited for all of these. Obviously, normally I am, but sometimes I buy things a little bit on impulse that I'm not really sure about, but I am just dying to get to each and every one of these. And as always, I would love to hear from you if you have read any of these books or you're excited to get around to them. Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!